Like
Yeah.
I use Claude kind of primarily, but I've been using Gemini 2.5 Pro. I'm using ChatGPT still within Claude and getting great responses. Like they've all
Hmm.
gotten really good.
They
I
have,
mean, I
yeah.
still think Claude's I do like. I default to that because I think it's probably one of the best right now still, but they've gotten incredible, yeah. And for
Yeah.
planning and
Yeah.
stuff, like Gemini is very good at that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll have to check out the planning with that. I know Claude is like also one of my favorites. Like I was telling Russell the other day, like I have the Cursor Pro Plus. I guess it's
Hmm.
like the $60, but I think I got it in some sort of window where it was available and I
Yeah.
just like kind of got it. But I ended up burning within 2 weeks, I burnt 181 million tokens
Yeah.
just test running like a bunch of stuff with it. And I was just like hammering it, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
But then
testing
I
dude
also
kills kills your tokens
well,
too.
no, I
Like
mean
that
like
was
testing prompt, testing
yeah,
strategies, do
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like the context
yeah.
and stuff. But then like I would also like I have a Claude Pro Max account too. So then I was using Claude code on top of it when my cursor would like say, hey,
Hmm.
chill out a little bit. But then I would get throttled over
Slow
there
down a lot.
too.
Yeah.
But I did see a pretty interesting workflow. I'm gonna try to test it out as where and I think these things are kind of cool when you hit these like roadblocks because you become more innovative, right?
Yeah.
Like with how Russell was saying about using the AS mode and getting the hot context and stuff. But there's a workflow where you can actually use the Claude MCP
Mm.
in Cursor. So then now you can hook up basically your Claude Pro account or whatever to Cursor to give you an extra like rocket fuel of context you can now use. And the tooling in Cursor will automatically call the Claude MCP, basically.
Yeah.
So
Random Point said, "Holy crap! I thought I was chatting with AI too much."
Yeah, right.
Dude, I ran
no,
through.
I'm a
I think
psycho.
I ran through like 25 million tokens in like 3 hours the other day. Like, and it wasn't like I was
It's
just
not
running
hard
loops
though.
either. Yeah, it's pretty
But
easy.
like but he also there was also somebody pointed out in the comments, it might have been the point or someone else, but like they've also, if you notice, they've also knocked down the context for some of these models.
Yeah,
And like Claude, they knocked from 200,000 to 125. So like
yeah,
they have made changes to stuff and like keep an eye on that's helpful because I think that's why I've switched to Gemini for certain things because the context window is still larger on that.
yeah.
And
I
it is
I
frustrating. But
think
yeah,
it's
you can
funny
blow through
how
tokens
quickly
so
we've
fast.
become like I don't know what the word is, like numb to this, where we're like, oh, it's so annoying. Like we don't, it doesn't have a
Well,
huge
it's like,
context window. We can't
yeah.
use it infinite now. And it's like a year ago, we were like using ChatGPT to like write a for loop or something. Like we're like,
Because it
Tell
couldn't
us
do
how many
anything else.
R's are in strawberry.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, dude, I
yeah,
think 4.1 still that has a million contexts. I mean, that has a huge
yeah,
context that
yeah.
you can use. But
Um,
yeah,
I
it
feel
is
like it
funny,
is
but they're all
degraded though.
it's gonna keep going, huh?
I was just saying, I feel like they have the context windows, but I feel like they're weighted differently, right? It's kind
mhm.
of
Yeah.
like, the analogy of like reading a book where you can remember the first half or first part of the book. You can remember the last half of the book when you read it, but then that middle section gets a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where they use their weights when it comes to like these million.
Mm,
There's just no way. I mean,
Yeah.
the
yeah.
compute on that is insane.
Well, like in Claude too, when you're using like, I'll start a new agentic chat a lot because it'll start to get weird if go too long. But I started trying to ask it to summarize. And
Hmm.
that works well too. If you want to stay in the same context that you've been working in instead of opening a new one and like deleting it, tell it to actually go through and summarize the main points from that context that you've been working in, and then
Yeah.
start another one from there. And you can even just cut and paste it if you want to, if you really want to open a new one.
Like
And that's
open a
been
new
working really
chat.
well too, as a way to kind of keep, some history of what you've been working on without opening a brand new one and like deleting that history.
Yeah. Randall the Point asked if I was still using Context 7, and he said the MCP stopped working for him, and he had to update the JSON in the code because it was updated. I stopped using Context 7 because I think it's uh, sort of just annoying to have to run the tool when I can just tag documentation. If you guys haven't used it before, Context 7 basically knows it inferences when you're trying to reference something, and it will like pull in the context of the
The newest
documentation.
documentation
Yeah,
for it. Yeah.
but I stopped using it a while ago. I same thing, found it stopped working. And we've talked about this before on the show, and Randall's talked about this, where MCP servers are a little bit like dangerous is a word, but like they're just not effective sometimes because
wild west.
Yeah, like they can change the code when you're using it. So yeah, I am trying to use a lot of what's built in. One of the things that I was talking to Chris about recently was using Claude code in the terminal. But I know, Chris, you told me like you can't see your code changes when you do that. And that sort of deterred me. I'm thinking now, like, maybe is there...
You can. You just have to, basically what you have to do is you have to look at like the source, the source tab. And then you can see the change files in there, and then that will show you the diff. But you know how like Cursor's really nice with it. It will automatically open those files, what it's changing. It'll then kind of show you like, and you can accept that like that level. You can't do that with Claude Code. You can, it's kind of that backdoor I was talking about with the MCP, where you can
love those backdoors.
Just leverage it.
Yeah. Right?
You know,
Sorry.
have you
Exactly.